that time of year. It's fall in California, and that means opera, theater, dance, the arts. And no one knows more about the cultural scene in California than our next guest, Sean Martinfield of the San Francisco Sentinel. Welcome.
Good morning. I have lots to share with you.
Exactly. Well, so we're here deep in the season. I know you were at the opening of San Francisco Opera. Maybe, I like to think of it as California's #1 cultural institution, but I'd like to know what you think.
Well, it's the most important event that happens in San Francisco, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. They come in from all over the world to attend this, and nothing could be more glamorous than to have Puccini's Turandot as the opening. You need a glamorous opera, and that's the perfect choice.
Yeah, because it's not just about art in San Francisco. I mean, it's the opening of the cultural season in Northern California, but it's also the opening of the society season as well.
Yes.
But I mean, San Francisco Opera has always been unique. I mean, we had a reputation for doing premieres. You know, it had a wonderful general director from London Records, Terry McEwen, under whom I worked. It's got a great reputation that's kind of shifted over the years. And now it seems under David Gockley that it's trying to become not just quote-unquote a rich person's opera, but every person's opera. Do you think that's true?
David Gockley is my hero. He has done more for San Francisco Opera to bring it back to the days that you're talking about, and renewing his contract for the next 5 years to guarantee that that quality will stay the same after he is gone. The decisions that he has made to shepherd new works, such as commissioning composer Christopher Theophanidis to write A Heart of a Soldier, is an example of that genius that he has brought to San Francisco Opera. And also the fact that the leads, the supporting characters, are being brought in from the Adler Fellows, which is a training program, an extremely advanced training program for young artists in the world of opera. And the way to get into that is the Merola Opera program, which is associated with San Francisco Opera. So we are getting a company that has people that have been trained here that are then launched into international careers.
Now, you mentioned one of the operas that actually just closed not long ago, Heart of a Soldier,
yes,
commissioned by David Gockley at San Francisco Opera. You're one of the only people who liked it.
I loved the opera.
I shouldn't say one of the only people who liked it, one of the only people who
said he liked it on paper.
Yeah, who says he liked it on paper. So why didn't other people like it, and why did you like it?
I think there was probably a far more larger expectation on the part of people because of the large promotion that was about it in connection with 9/11, excuse me, and that it's happening right at that anniversary. So I'm caught up in the emotions of all of that, of the 10th year anniversary of that, but also the idea that you can bring a love story to that.
Yeah, that's a hard combination.
Well, it was true. It's based on a true story, and when you think back, everybody can say, well, I was here when that happened. Well, while that was happening, this story was going on. It's the story of the security guard that rescued the people from Morgan Stanley, which was 2,700 people. And at that particular time in this man's life, he had married again, he had found love, and the woman that's playing that part was Melody Moore, who is, as I described, from the Merola Opera program and then into the Adler Fellows, and I think one of the most promising sopranos on the international horizon.
One of the things that I always look for in your writing with the Sentinel or anywhere else that I read your commentary is you love voices.
I do.
And you know voices. I mean, you yourself are a vocal coach, correct?
Yes.
So it wasn't just the story of Heart of a Soldier that really compelled you. You said that it was something about the quality of the voices and also singing in English, which sometimes is
painful.
Painful and harder to understand, frankly, than a
not here.
Yeah,
not at this time. They got their, shall we say, the capital that they needed by bringing in baritone Thomas Hampson to play the part. He was the perfect choice for it. And again, Melody Moore, who plays the wife, Susan Rescorla. And a nice touch to the opera was the boy soprano, who I interviewed.
Yeah, you actually, so is this the youngest person you've ever interviewed for
Yes.
your paper?
Yeah.
A 12-year-old boy soprano.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being a 10 and 11-year-old boy soprano. It's a heady experience, but it's a short-lived one.
Well, Henry Phipps is his name, and we had a lovely conversation. I just probed him about how he got it. He's a member of the boys' chorus down the peninsula called Ragazzi, and they got a call. 5 boys were sent over that they drilled with the sides, as they call them, the music to have prepared. He sang an aria from Amal and the Night Visitors, which I'm sure you, as a boy soprano, would have known.
Yep.
And he bears a resemblance to Thomas Hampson, as he might have been at 12 years old. But he's so comfortable on stage and just smart as a whip.
So what's his name? Maybe an up-and-coming star?
Well, he talked about that, you know, like what would, because he believes the opera will survive, and so do I. And we talked about, well, what's going to happen when your voice changes? So he would be content in playing either the baritone role, he grew up to play the baritone role, or the tenors that are in there. And it doesn't matter to him. He's got that soul of a musician, but the heart of a singer. You know?
Besides what's going on in opera, what are you looking forward to seeing this fall? I mean, there's huge museum openings. I know that the Asian Art Museum of San Francisco just launched a controversial and I think very exciting new brand, and they have a huge exhibit coming in, Maharaja, that's, I hear, the biggest thing since Tutankhamun. What other things are you looking forward to seeing?
The Pizarro exhibition is coming up. That's extremely exciting. The fine arts museums have done just amazing work with the Impressionists and all that over a period of time now. And now to see Pizarro, I'm really looking forward to that. So aside from the musical things that I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, besides arts and culture, you cover anything that, as you say, people are going to pay tickets for. Your perspective is not just, I think you said, academic. It's about what's worth paying money for. Do you think that's now, I mean, we're still in this recession. We keep hearing whether it's double dip or returning or just kind of circular. People don't have $50, $60, $70 to plunk down on an arts experience. What makes it worth them spending that much money?
I think if you have a package that it doesn't have to have a name in it, but if you are solidly entertained for that, so the advantage that I enjoy is being able to attend opening nights and see what's going on. My friends don't have a lot of money to spend on something, so I say, well, is this worth telling my friends to go see, or is this worth telling my brother to go see? Will they be angry with me if I'm touting something that doesn't work for them and say, hey, you know, I've only got so much to spend in the budget here?
Right. Have you ever had anyone call you and say, Sean, you were really off base on that review,
well,
I hated it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I got a nasty letter the other day.
You said you hated it and someone said, you're nuts, it was great.
Yeah, and it was about Heart of a Soldier. You know, I was accused of being a sycophant for the opera, which I am clearly not. I trashed Lucrezia Borgia. But his perspective on it had nothing to do with what the composer's vision was, nor the David Gockley, who brought that project with him from the Houston Grand Opera as part of his, you know, being, here's what I'm going to do as general director here.
What makes a good voice? And talk a little bit about your other hat, because in addition to talking about other people's voices and critiquing other artists, you yourself are a teacher, correct?
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
28 years I've been working as a vocal coach here in San Francisco. And the thing that I enjoy the most is preparing people for their auditions for local theater here in the Bay Area. The thing that most young singers don't get in touch with, especially in musical theater, is that in the real world of musical theater, you have to sustain a show 8 shows a week. And you have to have the vocal chops to do it. And I talk to young singers that are in national tours, who are aware of their peers in the company developing nodes and stuff, because they take them very, very fresh and eager and young. National tours happen to have very young casts that really don't have a lot of vocal training behind them to endure. So my job as a vocal coach, I don't care what you sing, is that you're able to reproduce that which has been rehearsed over and over again.
How dangerous can be singing full out, you know, like 7 shows a week?
It's not dangerous at all if you know what you're doing. And that's the ticket, is being able to endure. Not every show can be a Friday night opening experience. You know, you get you're just a human being, and sometimes I'm not the same person either on a Sunday afternoon when I'm doing a
Well, I mean,
matinee.
you also raise a good issue, an important issue. It's not just about making sure the voice survives and you don't get nodes or something else from straining your voice, but you have to make it fresh.
Yes.
I mean, every day you do Heart of a Soldier, boy, it has to be as compelling and emotional after the 6th performance as it was on opening night, correct?
Exactly, and how do you take
teach
care
that
of
as
yourself?
too?
Yes, so technique then is about not only just keeping your voice ready to go. If you're a singer, then you're ready to go. I make most of my analogies to runners. You have to stretch before you run or you're going to hurt yourself.
Right.
You have to know how to run around the block before you enter a marathon.
Right.
So that's my job.
And I know right now you're working with one of the great pros, a hand in vocal technique and theater. You're working with Diane Baker at San Francisco's Academy of Art University, correct?
Well, I have the amazing privilege of knowing her and being able to come on as their new vocal coach in the spring, so I'm very excited about that.
So there's a whole new generation of people learning from Sean Martinfield.
Yes. Yes, and we will have a good time at the Academy. So, if you're ever wanting to take, Singing 101, what is it not? That's my specialty.
So for people who want to learn more about your writing and read it, they go online to?
SanFranciscoSentinel.com.
Great. Thank you very much. We've been speaking with Sean Martinfield, learning about how to sing and how not to sing. Next up, we'll be learning about how to run with pride. Our next guest, Jeff Holman from East Bay Frontrunners. We'll be right back.